It's wrong till I die. She tell me she don't love me.
I tell you, when you're a Manchester United supporter, if you don't have something strong, you're gonna be in trouble. Trouble. Welcome to Old Talk United on the United Hour. I am President Chad. Next to me is the man Devin, and Greg B is in the house. We're supposed to have some other guests, but you know when he reach late, he's out of my wrongs. So let me see how late they come.
I hope they had that money. Money I spend.
So, gentlemen, good afternoon, to Martin Philip. Gentlemen, I want to ask you all today, before we even start talking about football, what are you all drinking today? I made some homemade guava juice. Nice thing from the Caribbean here. And I am chasing it with some aged rum, some 15-year-old rum. So what you all drinking today?
So I have some Mountain Gay Excellent Quote with me right now. Very much needed. I am still too sober to get over yesterday's result. So I made this one extra strong today.
As for me, well, I haven't got my drink yet. I'm still finishing up some Sunday lunch here, but I have some pineapple wine in the corner of this. So I'm gonna deal with that in a bit.
Mark, you're reaching in time. What you drinking today, Mark? What you drinking?
I ain't drinking nothing yet. I now come back from London to part that fight. I was part in that fight. So I know going and organize my drink.
You really going up inside there, boy?
Fellas, you know the thumbnail says how low can you go? How low can United reach? My question is simply this, to start off the show. Do you all think we've reached the lowest? Or do you think we have lower to sink still?
I feel that we can go lower than this, to be very honest. Don't forget, we have Liverpool coming up next Monday, so it can get lower.
Where's lower, boy? Losing against Liverpool is not lower. Where's lower? Game 10?
You need to start, like, right now, like not even making Conference League, and possibly, depending on if we don't get anybody else in, potentially relegation, unfortunately. I know it's only the second match. I know it's only the second match.
League, you know.
Lord knows that squad needs a massive overhaul, and if we don't get it, you need to
Oh
start.
yeah. After parting that fight, yeah.
It is. Call all the big boys.
Yeah, two big boys nearly fighting.
Honestly, I have to echo Devin's sentiments because it's scary to see where we are right now. I mean, losing is one thing. It's the manner we lost those games in that's even worse.
And that is the same thing I tell a man yesterday. So a man say, boy, it's only 2 games. What happened? We ain't lost the league. I say, boy, it's not losing, you know. It's how we looking losing, you know.
That's it. We made Brentford look like Bayern Munich at some points. That's not even funny.
Somebody said my cousin and them talking just now. They're not agreeing with this false 9 thing. I say, well, we have a false 11 now. Because like we still in preseason now. You have a false 9.
Then I was asked
false
about
11
his subs yesterday at halftime at Sky Sports, to which Ten Hag responded, he wished he could have substituted the whole 11. I think we all
keep it real,
share that sentiment.
You keep it real. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Pressure.
Robbie, we're drinking today, Robbie boy. We're drinking. We are there.
The white stuff. The white stuff. The powerful
You
stuff.
know,
Shoot,
you
good
usually
luck.
White
when
Good
it's
luck.
white stuff could be punching,
No,
babash.
exactly. Yeah, that.
I gotta say, because like we know what
Yeah,
white
any
stuff is
man
usually
say
meant,
white
so
stuff.
careful.
You had to assume the
No, the one in the
worst
cup.
or the best.
Nah, the
That's
one in the
Yeah.
cup. The one in the
Someone
cup.
just put it in our cup too. Just remember.
Serious?
Yeah,
Nah, man. You're lying to me now.
I wish I was. I really wish I was.
So
I was seeing on something they're considering terminating the GOAT contract.
I don't mind.
well,
I
the
don't mind.
interesting thing about that is Sky Sports put that tweet up. Right? Because yesterday there's footage of Ronaldo walking off the pitch.
Yeah, and he and
No.
Ten Hag get away or something. So
No. Well, firstly, the rest of the team kind of went by where our away fans were.
yeah.
They were taking some stick, but they understood they played badly, so they
Yeah,
went.
so they had to take the licks.
They went and they greeted the away fans. Somebody, I don't know who it was, kind of asked Ronaldo, "Hey, you coming with us
It
like
was-
the away fans?"
It was Steve McLaren. It was Steve McLaren. Yeah,
Right.
it was Steve McLaren.
And Ronaldo's response was kind of like, "Yeah, no." So that was the first part. So he was walking out into the dugout. So you realize if you watch the footage, he's walking alone. There's no other players with him because all the players are on the other side by the fans.
Yeah.
So the coaching staff and other people are walking across to where the players are, and he's walking this way. He passes somebody, they put out their hand to him. He kind of thing their hand. Ten Hag is walking by, he in gesture towards Ten Hag. He in thing anything at all. And
Even look in the wrong direction.
So it wasn't a good look. It wasn't that they fell out or they argued on the pitch. He just
Yeah, but you know
like you brush past the manager, right?
But you know the media.
After you already brush past the fans. To me, that is the more important thing, right? You
The
brush
fans.
past the fans,
Yeah.
but you decide he ain't going, and then you brush past the manager, which only makes it worse. So Sky Sports says that Ten Hag was irate, and he said, "Watch this toxicity from his attitude, his body language, and this attitude from Ronaldo is ridiculous." And Sky Sports said, note I said Sky Sports said that Ten Hag said these things. I didn't say he did or he didn't. Sky Sports was reporting that. And they put up a tweet saying that Manchester United is considering just terminating Ronaldo's contract to get him out of the club. Subsequently, they took down that tweet. Now, what does their taking down the tweet mean? I don't know. Right? Whether it means that they feel the reporting was inaccurate, whether Ronaldo people or United people reach out to them and say, "Hey, come down from there," I don't know. But the tweet is not up anymore.
I
Let me read
am of the strong
some
belief.
comments. Let me read some comments here. We have comments from it looking like Black Diamond. I'm not sure if I'm getting that right. I know the diamond is right. I think he's talking about Ronaldo. He said his ego deceived him. Oh, okay. Maybe the manager is talking about. Every manager think they can do better than the last manager. With the same BS, he booted Ralph and trusted novices like Murta, thinking he was as good as Van der Sar and Overmars. Until we have the best in class in recruitment, etc., we are going to suffer. That's why we needed Ralph and Paul Mitchell. I said this in a group, and I know a lot of people didn't agree with me. I said that pride has come before a fall. And Ten Hag is learning the hard way because he brushed off Ralph. He didn't want to hear Ralph's recommendations. He felt, he could do better. And he is learning the hard way. Everything that Ralph said, because you know what my next thumbnail for today's program was going to be? Ralph was right. Ralph said this club needed open heart surgery. Ralph said we needed 10 new players.
Yeah,
Ralph said a lot of things.
And Ralph was right.
And everything Ralph said was right. And Ten Hag came in, and even though I love Ten Hag's attitude, meeting all the staff,
Yeah.
all of this stuff, the one problem I had was when he was asked about Ralph Ragnick, he was very dismissive of him, and he didn't even sit down for a face-to-face with Ralph Ragnick. I thought that was unbecoming, but it was a small thing, so I didn't harp on it. But now he is seeing for himself that, and if he had sat down with Ralph, he probably would have
Yeah.
orchestrated our
You must sit down with the surgeon that leaving the patient. You must to find out where the procedure.
I didn't say it at the time. But Paul Mitchell was challenged with his situation at Monaco, and Manchester United, we know, was genuinely considering him, bringing him in. The minute we hired Ten Hag, all the Paul Mitchell links died. I didn't see it at the time, but I got the impression that Ralph was interested in bringing Paul Mitchell on board. Ten Hag came in, I was like, nah, forget that. Right? And that is what I believe went down. I don't think we started actually negotiating with Paul Mitchell as yet, but we were considering it. We were waiting to see what Ten Hag, to get Ten Hag stamp of approval.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, come on. You telling me if Paul Mitchell was near, we wouldn't have at least some better options than Rabiot, and I'm not dogging Rabiot, than Arnautovic, and I'm not dogging Arnautovic. I mean, just now I might hear they calling Robert Wallace to come and play.
Can he play defensive mid?
Yeah. Sure.
And I mean slide into Gil DMs. Talk about defensive midfield.
Both ways. Both ways.
Okay, sir.
Son.
Well, fellas, I talk
Right.
about, you know.
Well, we need Black Diamond in this show because he's speaking facts.
Yeah, boy, for real.
It's
But
hurtful, right?
in retrospect, the whole thing with Sky taking down that tweet, I
What's
believe
that?
that was Joel Glazer trying to out that fire because he
Yeah,
told
you
himself he was
swear.
there from a commercial aspect.
After yesterday, you swear it only have one team in the EPL. You swear the amount of memes and licks and this. I see a video a pastor in a church saying, God will help you if you have problems, especially if you are a Manchester supporter. What the hell, right?
Yeah, the back pages of all of the major newspapers around the world,
Yeah.
Germany, Australia, all over the place is Manchester United taking 4. I mean, we know,
Well, you know-
we are the biggest club in the world in terms of
Yeah,
fan
yeah, yeah.
base. So
Well, it
obviously,
goes
In my
along
house.
saying as go, hated, adored, never ignored. So
Why
it's
tell me
crazy
all you lose? Come and do
because,
some housework.
because like you have teams like, for example, and as much as I hate to say this now, Man City put 4 past Bournemouth or was yesterday. Where are the headlines for them? Like they had that big bust up between Tuchel and Conte today, and I am sure that the headline will still be something about Ronaldo potentially leaving. Come tomorrow's paper. So it's incredible, even as bad as we are, that we still get this amount of publicity.
Because
know,
mentioning
it'd be
Manchester
nice.
United is a headline maker.
Exactly.
you know, it would be nice if, as bad as we are, we had the clout to draw good players. Because my biggest concern for this club right now is that truly elite, truly talented players are going to look at the shit show that is Manchester United and be like, do I really want to go there? I know the
Correct.
club have history. I know the thing. I respect Ten Hag. He looks like he's a good coach, but do
Yeah.
I really want to go there right now?
Yeah.
If we can't attract top level talent, then the only thing we will end up getting is dregs or mercenaries, people who we have to overpay, or people who really not elite, but they're slightly better than what we have.
Yeah. It's tough, but it will get better. Trust me.
You know something that actually I was actually starting to notice recently. Like you could compare the height at the height of our when we peaked in the 90s or whatever, that we had a very good academy, that we had obviously class of 92 that went through. You look at what Barcelona is going through now. They had that great academy from La Masia and all those good prospects, and as they fell out, they started to fall off. So it's kind of interesting how that happened. Now, obviously, United is not leveraging the club's assets and TV rights like Barca's doing now. But I just found that kind of interesting how there's a little bit of a link between the two like that.
It gets to a point where you have to understand that.
So that again, Gregory.
I said it gets to a point where you have to understand, like you said, we're not the same team that we were back in the 90s, because now everybody's looking at us like it's saying the whole we had to rely on mercenaries and dregs. We've been relying on mercenaries and dregs since 2014. So ain't much change.
Right now, people compare me to West Indies.
Boy, Mark, you see what I said about that? You mentioned West Indies.
Yeah.
I said right now, Manchester United will beat West Indies in cricket, and West Indies will beat Manchester United in football.
People compare me to the West Indies right now.
That's exactly what will happen right now.
Just whatever you do, don't put David De Gea as your wicketkeeper.
I like it.
Boy,
It's some of the most creative memes I see in a long while.
Boy, you
I see one ball.
You sick Bruno as
if I call you
6 no balls.
If I call you Manchester United, just know I call you for nothing. Well, if I call you and tell you Manchester United, just know I call you for nothing.
So I saw I've heard that one before. Manchester United came to Brentford.
Yeah, I said, well.
Yeah, exactly. So that happened.
So today we heard that Ten Hag cancelled.
Yeah, no day off. Yeah, no day off. Come to work.
Supposed to have a day off today. Ten Hag canceled the day off, and he
after that performance yesterday, them shouldn't get no day off until Christmas, man.
But what I love the most about what he did today is a level of pettiness with the punishment that he gave out, and I am here for that.
Well, you need to. I was going to say what the punishment is, but since you're weighing in, go ahead and say what the punishment is.
So the punishment today, he made them run, and he made each player. It was not just like a random 5 kilometers, things like that. He made them run the exact distance that the Brentford players outran them by.
Yeah.
No, he doubled it actually.
How much ever kilometers?
That's
Brentford team outrun we 5 kilometers more than we. Let them run 10.
I'm sorry. You want to punish me and make me run? That's bullshit. Punish them men shouldn't get paid today or tomorrow or next week.
So
next month.
What I am hearing, there were
take away the pay, take away all the things, right? Tell Ronaldo, right, to have no gel, no makeup for you for the whole week. Let me see how we go reach.
Yeah, them in the pocket.
So Robert, in the defense of that, I do believe that there were non-performance fines.
Let me tell you something, right? No, let me show you guys something, right?
There were non-performance fines.
I don't care about my team, right? I remember a freaking badge on my chest. Real Madrid. You know why? These men have no respect for me. None. They have no respect for me. So I have none for them. I come in on this show with a big badge on my chest. No respect for them. None. Zero. No respect.
I've been hearing
them
people saying
no respect, boy.
I've been hearing
them lucky. Manchester United lucky there's not a military team. Because I have seen Defense Force team lose games and the manager of the team with an officer, every time you lose, you come back in camp and you stay in camp until you win.
Wow.
If you don't win, you don't go home. Yeah,
like a sentence. Like a sentence when you lost.
Yeah. And that was the fastest way to get a team to win.
Running to these men it doesn't mean anything, because I said it.
Yeah. Put them in the pocket.
Yeah, because yesterday I made a comment on your show yesterday. I said these guys threw Jose under the bus. They threw Ollie under the bus. And they are throwing Eric under the bus. I mean, forget the tactics for now, right? Forget that, right? You telling me you are 1-0 down to Brentford, 2-0 down to Brentford, and nothing in you couldn't tell you, fellas, this shit gotta stop. Let me do something. Because you can't tell me that our team is less talented than Brentford. You can't.
You understand?
You can't.
Well,
that
Brentford
is a
had more heart yesterday.
correct.
no. So why? What was wrong from from David De Gea to Ronaldo? All of them. What was wrong with all of them? Malacia came on the field and showed heart in that game. Yeah, we lost, but at least the man was trying to do shit. What the hell was Lucho doing? That
Gary
fat
Neville
piece
nearly
of
fight with
garbage,
JB Carragher.
right? Next clown, the next
Jamie
like below.
Redknapp. Jamie Redknapp.
Who was fucking Harry Maguire and the next like, why Martinez coming the dance, right? You tell me that you are Martinez, right? You tell me what that Batman talk. Oh, I'm cartel. I'm gonna shoot men. Rah, 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 rah. Who he shoot? Who he shoot? He shoot nobody. Damn fake gangster. He's a fake gangster, boy. He's a fake gangster. The hell, Martinez, you're short. You damn
Okay,
hobbit.
Robert,
No.
whatever's in that cup, stop drinking it. Whatever's in that cup, Robert, stop
No,
drinking it.
no. From
No, 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 no,
Fred.
no. Keep drinking, Robert.
No,
Keep drinking, Robert.
Fred.
Keep
Fred.
speaking. Keep speaking.
I big up Fred. Greg, you was there, right? When I big up Fred.
Mhm.
No, you gotta go to Erickson. I don't care about your heart anymore, dog. Show some heart. Bruno, that freaking all he did was cry. Cry, wing. What you crying for? You're a big back man. That's why you're getting home with the big
So
button
there was one big thing in this match which I thought spoke volumes.
Mm.
You remember? I can't remember which Brentford player it was that he came in and he fouled Ronaldo hard. Like yes, there was a foul, but not one United player came to the defense of him to stand up for him and whatever else like that. And I'm like, where's the heart in this team? Like that to me is absolutely inexcusable. Like
Right.
in addition to being outrun by the manner which they were, but you're not even going to stand up for your own teammate. Like today, like for example, for anybody who watched the match today, like when all the that was happening between the two sidelines, and you saw all the players running to defend each other, and not one United player could even be bothered to stick up for a teammate. That speaks volumes.
No, again, I don't
That,
blame
that,
them.
that's
to a
not it's, not
point.
it's not one team. It's 11 individuals right now, and that
Right,
is
yeah. I don't blame them, to a point, I don't blame them because Ronaldo dig his own hole, right? So I don't blame them. But at the same time, forget that we are all on the same squad. As far as the
Exactly.
team is concerned,
You could-
we have your back.
You could
Regardless of-
hate each other
Right.
individually and whatnot as it is, but only you could hate each other and
Yes.
get away with it. It's like
Right.
it's like the same thing that we like as being a U.S. military veteran. Like we always like to talk shit amongst the branches and whatnot. But somebody who did not join cannot talk shit about another branch. We will stick up for them. So we can hate each other, but only we can do that because we understand the bond as it was. It should be the same thing. Yeah, you have your differences outside of here, but on the pitch, you're one team.
Mm.
Yeah, but it just goes to show you there is no real bond with this team anymore, or anybody who's
Exactly.
had any kind of
Exactly.
chemistry. It's all broken. Nobody really
Okay.
seems to want to play for each other at this point.
I have a question, right? Okay, so what? Okay, now we bought Eric in, right, to really make team play better. But someone said something yesterday that kind of confused me, but in a way, it had a point. Ollie somehow got these same players. Not every game, but for some games, these guys used to at least do something. So was it all Ollie's fault?
Nope. Because as you said, it had certain games, all you used to get them in and them to show up. For instance, Man City.
So I know I real lambaste Ollie. I know that I real lambaste him, man. I know I real lambaste him, man.
Yeah.
But
It had certain games, you're sure Ollie getting them in to show up. Against Man City, and I think a cup game against Liverpool. They meant show up.
Let's understand one
So,
thing, because
I
at the end of
could-
the day, you go in Denver.
now you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
you were
Greg, I will go after you.
yeah,
Okay, all right. So all I'm gonna say is this: Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came into this team. His first full season, we finished third. The second full season, we finished second. It went downhill because certain things were added into it that he didn't necessarily plan for. I'm not saying that it was entirely that Ronaldo was a problem for the whole team, but at the end of the day, it threw off the initial chemistry that he had going for him.
Yeah.
Bottom line, he got these players to get a tune. He got them to go unbeaten for a whole season away from home.
Yep.
You can't tell me that is not the mark of a man who understands what he has, knows the limitations of these players, and worked with it in the best way possible. And it worked.
So
The only thing we stopped short of getting is silverware. That was the only thing that was missing.
So
Yeah, that's the only thing you didn't get to know. What's silverware?
Right.
one thing that
sorry. Go ahead.
I will give credit for Ole that he did bring the best out of the players at times. One thing that I do fault Ole for is he gave the players too much power over certain decisions and things like that. That to me, I believe, was the big downfall. Where it's okay, yeah, you can relax. We'll be lackadaisical here. We'll do this. We'll bring a friendly environment. He also needed, yes, that was at times that will be needed to be nurturing, but you also have to learn at times we need to drop the hammer. If somebody is playing badly, you cannot keep on playing that same person over and over and over again when you have people who are licking at the chops to get out there and show something. So it's also now you start bringing in people who are disciplinarians and are expecting them to play something different, and they don't want to do it because they were so used to being coddled and nurtured, and then now because of that they start to hit some adversity and they have no idea how to handle it. And to me, and that I think is probably the biggest problem with the squad right now, because I do believe we got some of the toxicity out of the club. Not all of it as of yet, but we need some people. We need some people who know how to handle adversity. Say, yeah, cards are against us now. Watch what we can do. Watch this. Hold on. But
here's the thing. Here's the thing with that, Devin. Here's the thing with that.
But it's rather than doing that, now you sit out there and every single time something doesn't go your way, you throw your hands up in the air, you throw a strop, you cry, you complain, you moan, you do all this instead of putting your head down, running, and doing whatever. Because as far as I'm concerned, you want to complain and whatnot, but you're not going to back it up with your stats, especially at running at a bare minimum. Nah, I am not having that at all. So that to me, I thank Ole for what he did, bringing some good times back to the club. But I think he coddled these players way too much at a professional level.
Yep. Here's the thing with that. A lot of people will say that Jose Mourinho was a similar kind of style of player. The only difference with Jose and a lot of other managers is that Jose had a knack for not holding his tongue, and sometimes that was for all the wrong reasons. A lot of players would get slandered. A lot of people would get thrown under the bus, and then gradually you're going to lose people in that regard. Where they had Oli, who was basically trying to protect a lot of them. So it's a stark contrast to what
it was.
With
two sides of different coins. There's two sides of the coin.
Let me ask you a question, Greg.
Listen.
We remember most of our introduction to Jose Mourinho, apart from when he ran down the touchline after beating us 4-2 in Champions League. Our real introduction was when he came to Chelsea, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Do you remember Jose Mourinho throwing individual players under the bus the way that he did with Luke Shaw at Chelsea?
In his second stint, yes.
No, I'm talking about his first stint.
In his first stint, not so much.
And then the same players at Chelsea that he came back to and won with, right? When they started to underperform is when he started to throw men under the bus. I think, we Jose Mourinho, we have categorized him as a loose cannon, right? He's good for 2 seasons, maybe 2.5, and then it's chaos. But I think if you really think a player is trash, you go in and start him.
No.
It's one thing to come out and say, watch me, this person overweight or this, that, and say things, and then start them the next game. I think he was playing mind games with his players, the same way he played mind games with refs. He played mind games. He tried to get under certain people's skin to get a performance out of them. Even when he was referring to Paul Pogba as a virus, X, Y, and Z, he didn't drop Paul Pogba. And we know Jose Mourinho not afraid to drop anybody. He said things about them, and he sent them out to play, start him. And these players didn't respond. No one could say the players didn't appreciate Jose. Okay. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in and he was everybody's best friend. And that worked for 2.5 seasons. And then they throw him under the bus. So they didn't appreciate him either. Right? Ralph came in and he was just straightforward. He was just a straight shooter. He shooting at the hip. He asked him a question about ownership, he gave a straight answer. He asked him about players, he gave a straight answer. He asked him about the team. Men didn't appreciate Ralph neither. So at some point we need to say, well, here what's going on. To hell with Ole, you know.
Yep.
With Ole,
and that's the point where we're at now.
And nothing.
That's the point where we're at now, because you can
The hell with
only
Ole.
make so many. You can only make so
Because-
many excuses for these guys for so long.
Hence
Look
my
at
badge.
you look at what's going on here. De Gea's been here since Alex was in charge. We still
Yeah.
have Phil Jones here. Yeah, Luke Shaw, who have been calling out to get changed. With Paul Pogba and Jesse Lingard are gone. Martial's still here, and he's been underperforming for probably 2-3 seasons straight. Rashford, you don't know if he's gonna catch back himself yet. It's 6 and 7 and one too many to be short of a dozen in itself. So it's confusion throughout that whole squad, and nobody really knows what to do with themselves. Confidence is at a low, morale is at a low. The whole mindset within that club is probably lower than the
Yeah.
white line in the road right now.
Because let me just add a local
Tell
twist
go.
to that. I
Telco.
will,
Yeah, what is telco?
What is
I
Man
work
went
with
way back. Way back.
I work
Mark,
with
Mark, tell Devin what telco is so we could put some frame to that comment.
Yeah, some correlation.
what's that? Let me put a local twist to that. I work with some coaches, right? In local football. And it had the Mourinho's, men with Mourinho mentality. It had men like Ollie. And then it had men who just come today and they're cool, you know. But they'll come today and just cuss up everybody, cuss up the players, cuss up the staff, everything. And men can be like, what the hell going on here, right? Well,
Why that sounding like Terry Fenwick?
Nah. And it used to have players on the toes. Because I work with coaches that will just come today and a man do some stupidness, come out for a session, change and go home. Thing. I was like, what the hell? But then I get to realize by doing that, men on the toes.
Exactly.
Nobody is getting comfortable with the coach
One
coolness or the
mistake.
coach kindness. And then it are coaches I work with already, them just cool and it get out of hand. Players coming and coach man, me feeling the chain today, you know, and yeah, it's okay, cool. And you know who I end up being the big bad wolf? Me. Because I realize,
from somewhere, you know.
yeah, players just take advantage because what should I do? Ollie was the best friend for 2 years, thing, normal 2.5 seasons. Yeah, thing, and then boom. Yeah, but we fed up Ollie, yes, let me throw Ollie under the bus, yes. Them and throw Ollie under a bus, you know, them throw Ollie under one of them sealant container truck, you know.
Them throw him off the bridge. Them throw him off the bridge in London.
You understand?
I like this question, and I want the panel to well, before we go to the question. Telco is the telephone company of Trinidad and Tobago, but what really puts that in context? That was like the first telephone company.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the
okay.
service
Before TSP
was good and stuff.
Telco?
So it was like the old cable and wireless, basically.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay,
That
all
is-
right, no problem. Yeah.
that is what
Telco.
telco is. So
Telco.
question is, if you're a youth player at United at this time, would you think of signing a new contract or leaving the club? Let's start with Devin. Let's start with a measured thinking person first.
So right now it comes down to Well, you can look at Garnacho. Garnacho's the example. I think he just signed a new contract. And he's probably the most promising person through our academy that's coming through right now. If you're gonna offer me this contract, you want me to stay and whatnot. Obviously, it's gonna be like, well, where's my opportunity to break into the team right now? Like the next thing is like, okay, yeah, you want me in here right now, but you keep on playing the same people over and over and over again. They keep on having bad performances. I'm hungry. I'm biting at the chops to go. And you're not gonna play me, but you just want to keep me here to sign the contract. I would not be too thrilled about that, and
Excuse me a minute, guys.
I I really don't think I would do it right now until I see like, okay, there's going to be honest, legitimate opportunities for me to come in and prove myself on the highest level. So I could
What
not
about
see
what about
myself signing that new contract right now with the state as it is right now. No.
what about you, Greg B?
Um,
As a young player, would you want to leave or would you want to sign a new contract?
I don't know. For me, if I was a young player and I know Manchester United is probably my dream club, I'm probably going to want to find some way to show that I'm going to stick around and fight for my place. And that's probably going to be mostly my heart talking. My head is telling me, given the situation that's transpiring, we're not sure what's going on with the first team players. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be guaranteed to get a start. If I'm thinking about furthering my career, then I would really probably have to look elsewhere because at this rate, if we're not even sure how the players are gonna play, if we're not even sure how the manager situation is gonna probably be like going forward, we don't even know what the financial state of the club might be. Given if people are voting asking for the owners to move on, there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the club, and you want some sort of safe ground to be on. So I probably might be looking at my options too.
Robert, Barcelona is by far the most unstable club in the whole universe, not even the world,
Mhm.
right? In the entire universe, Barcelona is the most unstable club, and everybody want to go there.
Mhm.
So, what
Wait
say
now,
you if
what's
you
up?
are a young player at Manchester United? What are you for?
Um,
Really now, what's in Barcelona? Seriously.
I would honestly, I mean, I would stay. I mean, I would give them probably a year to see how things go because, okay, like if, for example, like if I am say Ganacho, right, my competition right now is Rashford. Unless Rashford gets his act together, you know, I could take him. I could take his spot. Whereas if you are a player like Laird, who plays right back, correct? Or yeah,
Yeah.
right. My competition is Delo and Aaron, all right.
And,
So
and, and,
I
then, and then to make matters worse, you even have
mhm,
someone like James Garner who doesn't even have any competition in his position, but you can't
right,
even get into the damn team.
but to be fair,
Exactly.
right, but his even though his position right has no competition, really and truly his competition is Fred or Scott, and and you laugh, but that is it. You understand? That is his competition, Fred and Scott, because the the manager won't trust Ghana, right, to play there because now I understand that he can't do it because obviously he has pressure from the I guess from the ownership, from the media, from us because for each one of us who may say, okay, let's just say against Liverpool, right? We see Ghana playing there. We may say, okay, cool,
That would
trying
actually be a
something,
surprise.
right? But most fans will be like, what in the hell is this shit? What going on in here? Oh gosh. And worse yet, if we get beat 3-4-0, what everyone will say is Ghana fault. And then all of a
Robbie,
sudden Ghana
Robbie,
gets put to the
let
side.
me ask you a question, Robert. In the preseason, we saw a
Mhm.
lot of the kids, which
Right.
is normal in preseason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there's a genuine possibility that the manager is saying, here, I am new to the club, he's new.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now getting to know these players. let me give these senior players who, without any kind of foreknowledge, he supported on his first interview by saying most of these players were in the club and they finished second and third. The club not so bad. That wasn't speaking about youth. He was talking about the established players, the players who we are accustomed seeing, right?
Right.
Is it possible that this manager is giving these guys an opportunity to show what they're worth? And it's not that he's anti-youth, because we know Ten Hag generally plays youth over his career. But it is more a matter of, let me see what I have with the old guy. And then I would know, you understand? Let me give these guys a chance first, because I am torn enough. I think we should drop Rashford for the next game. I think we should drop David here for the next game. I think we should drop Luke Shaw for the next game. I think Fred and Scott shouldn't play in the next game. But here I ask myself, is it fair to drop Savage, Iqbal,
against
Garnacho
those guys?
Liverpool? Is it fair
No,
for
but
Matthias' first 90 minutes to be against Liverpool?
But I will say
Is
this.
it fair?
No, it's not fair. It's not fair, but I will say this, right? I will say this. I would rather get beat 4-0 by Liverpool and play all the youths. To hell with from the here, go straight to Ronaldo. All them, all the club, out. Just not even on the bench. All your home. Right? I rather have the youths there, right? And get beat 4-0.
So
Right?
how do you
Than have these guys come
I
back.
think most of us would agree with that. But what about
So,
the
but
psychology of those
these
guys?
guys come back here. Have these guys come back here and get beat.
exactly
And mind you, right?
as you say, Robert?
They won't get beat. These
So
guys,
how do you manage those
pull up.
after that?
No,
when their confidence is
no.
shattered?
Right, but like I'm saying, you have to have things in place for the day after. What I'm saying is this: these fellas now don't are not worth shit, because these men will go on the weekend and Liverpool will score 1, 2, and 3. And do you know what Liverpool will do, fellas? I think that these guys have had enough. Let's just take a break, take a breeze, one drink some rum, and bring on the youths. Klopp will embarrass us, right? He will score 3 goals in the first half, easy peasy, and then second half he will bring on 5 youths to embarrass us. That is what he will do. That is what he will do. And you know what? All of us will say again.
He will do that. He will do that and say he bring on them youths not to embarrass the opponent, but bringing on them youths is embarrassing.
We
So
forget the 4-0 last
actually-
year, right? We got embarrassed that 4-0 last year. Because the man stopped playing. These guys, Man City didn't even train to beat us 2-0 last season. They didn't even train.
that was something
They
that
just passed
actually
us off the
baffled,
park.
that actually baffled me. The fact that those managers did that, because I have to be, and the reason being, you remember how Man City won their first Premier League title, right? How did they win it actually? Goal differential.
Goal difference, yeah.
So to me, it's like, if you know you have a team that is weak and you have the opportunity to put 5, 6, 7, 8 past them, I don't know about all I want, but I will make sure that I am going at it, because you never know if you may need those goals later on for goal differential. All of us on this panel here know what it's like to lose a title on goal differential.
Yeah.
So to me, it says, if I have this opportunity now, I can put as many goals as past one as possible, and it's as simple as that.
I hear you, Devin, but I have another take on that. You know, if you see a man like Mike Tyson, you're expecting a real fighter to go in there and fight Mike, right? If you see a skinny 15-year-old walk in the ring and Mike in his prime, and Mike hit him one little jab and he fall long good up. You know, most people could say that wickedness if Mike beat him up, right? But one could say, hey, a fight is a fight. He fell in the ring.
Yeah.
He signed contract. I think City's
You
attitude
can feel like how
we
Jack
are
Warner
so
said.
much better than this team. if we really play and embarrass this team, it is not doing us any favors. I remember, I never forget. It stuck in my mind when they asked Sir Alex about Wenger coming to the end of Wenger's time. And Sir Alex, for the first time, said something complimentary about Wenger. He said something about, oh, he's a good coach and I respect him. And the minute I heard that from Sir Alex, I told myself Sir Alex doesn't consider Arsenal a threat again. Because if he considered Arsenal a threat, he was never saying nothing good about Wenger. He was never saying nothing.
We remember when that rivalry between Arsenal and United was at its peak. We remember when that rivalry was at its peak.
That entire City team, they are like, nah, boy. It's just an advantage, boy.
Alex play 11 defenders and beat Arsenal.
As long as goal differential is a tiebreaker, you should never have that mindset.
No,
if it was not a tiebreaker, then yes, I understand. But
I just say in their mind. In their mind, they like, nah, boy. These fellas.
Not enough pressure.
I would play the youths from now to the end of the season. And I am telling you, we may lose games, we may draw games. But I'm telling you, we will beat some people. We will beat some people along the way. And we will forget about every player that we have. Because they are all worthless, dog. All of them are worthless. These men bring out a new kit, a new vomit kit, right? Make me sick. It made me sick. I couldn't even see the players on the field. That's nasty. Now, mind you, the first time I saw it, right? I was like, yeah, but that green, it kind of fresh.
No, I did not like it from the get-go because you know honestly what it brought back memories of me too. You all remember that kit from I think it was 95, 96. That great kit.
The great kit, yeah.
Where they could not see each other. And I had a feeling when they had that green, I was like, oh shoot, this might be the same. At halftime, I fully expected us to change into something else. I fully expected
that kit was a bad man.
Nothing wrong with the kit. Something was wrong with that grey kit, but ain't nothing wrong with the green kit.
Oh, you know that you're wicked, boy.
Nothing wrong with the green kit.
Oh, you
team
that
attitude crap.
Anyhow, that green kit complimented me someone is there.
Why do you see that? Chad called on a green kit already.
Of course,
Corona kit, boy.
You know what I call that green? I use that green kit for now. I call it the highlighter kit. Every single person that had on that highlighting kit, that highlighted every single problem wrong with the club right now.
Yeah.
So
we'll look back on that Brighton game and we can say, yeah, boy, that green kit wasn't a bad luck kit. Now that was the kit that turned the arrow.
That the kit we went and went by the sea and get spin wrong 10 times and cookie a broom and blue soap and all kind of thing. Because that kit, as I tell you yesterday, we could season the whole ocean with that lime green kit. That kit, by the way. By the time I see we playing that green, I know it's problem. Every time we play a new kit, we lost.
It was too much green. It was too much green. Like the green kit was fine. The pants should have been probably like black or something, so or something like break up the No, I think it was all green.
No, green kit, green pants, green top, green pants, green socks.
It was too much green. Everything was green. It was too much green. It had like a black pants or so.
You all ever saw there's a show about Denzel Washington as a African American coach in a college.
Remember the Titans. Remember
the Titans, the high school.
Good. Everybody saw that show, right? Everybody saw that.
Yeah.
Good. So I personally believe that we spoke about a lack of chemistry. We've spoken about certain things in the program, right? We may not have used the right terms, but everybody listening, we in the virtual bar, so give us a little break if we're not too technical.
Yeah, we're not too
chemistry and a lot of
we drinking too.
Do you all think that Ten Hag pulling the players off on their day off and having them run and putting them through the grind, do you think this is his methods, like Denzel Washington was using in that movie, to try to birth something, get something out of these players. That's one. That is not really the question. The question is, do you think it'll work?
No.
Clearly, Ten Hag is trying
So-
to change the culture. Do you think? Because we remember Sir Alex used to do this.
No.
lose.
So
Alex
So
used to
Alex
go-
used to beat men, right?
So
Bend them over on the licks,
Sir Alex would
licks.
berate men with the
Licks.
hair dryer, get them in, and he also had the balls to drop people if they were not
But
performing.
all
If
of
you,
your
if you go back to that movie, you know what was the coming together moment of that movie when they took them to a Civil War battlefield. And also, don't forget a big key thing of that movie. Remember the Titans. There was racism all around, and Denzel's whole thing there was to show it does not matter black or white. We are still one team against the world, against everybody else. Everybody else wants us to lose because we're coming together. We're going to show them something different. United does not have that right now. United the racism is not
right now. There's a civil war in the United fan base,
but
boy.
it's not gonna be something like that. So what is Ten Hag supposed to take them to like you know the thing that bothers me the most? Because if he was gonna do that, he would have taken all of them to the Munich Memorial and shown them, okay, this is where we came from. You see what happened? This team crashed. That team, majority of that team died in that accident. They came together. That was their moment. Come together. 10 years later, they won it. I don't even think the players will care.
no.
I think the players will go there, take photos, put it on Instagram for likes, and that's it. And they go right back to the same thing we were doing before. So
if you don't think
it will work.
if you don't think the players are going to, and everybody seems to agree with you, I see everybody nodding their head. So if the players are not going to respond to Ten Hag's methods, then the only other alternative
It's a
is to
drop.
change the players.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So
have
what else is there to do?
I have one. Ten Hag, right? All he had to do, right? Bring all them players right here, Trinidad and Tobago, right here. Drop them in, right? All of us have some granny somewhere who's a bad thing, right? All of we have one, right? Level licks horse, level licks with slippers and wire. You understand? Throw them, in the yard, pull up grass.
Pelly broom or pot,
Pelly
wherever
broom.
she get in she kitchen.
Yeah.
You were traumatized as a
Yeah.
child.
Scrub,
You were
Some cement
traumatized
somewhere.
as a child.
scrub
weren't
the
you?
clothes on the sink, right? With the blue soap. Scrub it. You understand?
Robert,
You want the
you were
beef
traumatized
now.
as a child.
You didn't have enough of that horse. Right? You didn't have enough. You didn't get enough
I
of
had
that.
plenty.
But you were young.
You
I
could
had plenty.
You didn't get
We
enough.
could chip some old school. We could chip some old school joking board
Yes.
and let
But
them
yes.
let Ten Hag line it up in the corner and let them kneel down on it.
And wash it.
The long and a
wash
greater.
your kit.
Robert,
Wash
Put it in
your
your
kit.
hand.
you're forgetting one thing.
What was that?
It was not just licks from one person,
No.
it was
Yeah.
all the family members that could get a chance to for
Yes.
one mistake. So you did not do it again.
Yes. There was
But
there
Chad,
was a
where was
reaction,
saying there, Chad?
understand?
You see in Sir Alex time, that would have worked with them players and them there. But in this time, with these spoiled brats and them, these rich spoiled brats and them, that ain't gonna work. Them gonna come run this morning, yeah, all right. They say come in training, all right, we go run, yeah. Same old, the running got done and we going back home. But
Okay,
you gotta
just
do
now,
them in the
just now.
pocket.
I want to touch that point. I, for one, don't think that most players enjoy or like Pep Guardiola. I haven't heard any player, any former player of Pep Guardiola say anything nice about it. Never.
Exactly.
Not at
You know-
Barcelona, not at City. Everybody who leaves, they may say things respectful, but they don't, when
don't
you
like
hear
him.
Drogba talk about Mourinho, there is not just admiration, there's love there. You
Yeah.
understand? There is passion.
You
I
don't,
don't hear people talk about Pep like that.
you don't have to
yet
like the
City
person as long as
plays,
you get results.
right?
It's as simple as that.
Klopp is a different manager. He's more interactive. He's more hugging up. He's more right. So players obviously love to play for Klopp, but still there is discipline. There, other teams can get discipline. You telling me we cannot get discipline out of these players? I don't believe that. I don't know what we do. I don't know what Ten Hag got to do. Maybe you really need to send some chicken board to Old Trafford.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we
Ten
have
Hag gotta
to
come.
find a way.
Then I got to come this morning with a tree line and just have a share planner.
I have a question for the panel now. How many years are you willing to give Ten Hag right now to get it right? Obviously, we know he's safe here now for the next at least this season and hopefully next season as well. But how many seasons will you give him to get it right? Because we know it's going to take time. We know there's going to be growing pains. It's just how much.
Minimum 3.
Yeah, I was about to say
Minimum.
that.
I ultimately would say 4. But you see, going back to we started off talking about Ralph Ragnick being right. When it is you had to give a team open heart surgery, you can't expect overnight results. So
Exactly.
we are realizing how bad things are at the club. We need a total culture shift, culture change. We need to give the manager proper time. Not somebody
So
supporters who started off saying, yeah, give him time. We lose 2 games and they started to be like, oh, Ten Hag is
So
shit.
you remember how long I think the majority of us
People are already calling for Ten Hag out.
we already said there's going to be growing pains.
But Ten Hag
We
head
all-
done
we
on
all
the chopping
agree-
block
we all
by
agree
some
to be
men.
given time. We all agree
Oh.
he needs to be given time. So the question, like I said, it comes back to the beginning. Like I kind of agree with Chad right now. He needs at least 3 seasons right now to get it right, understand how it's going wrong. Okay, start doing the changes little by little. But he also
And bring in proper players.
at the same time he needs to be backed by the board within the players that he wants. Like it cannot be okay. I want this player. Well, he costs too much, so we got you this player just because he plays that position. So that so and-
Well, the truth is we haven't seen that as yet.
So, but to me, I would like to see him given the proper chance, backed properly with the players that he wants, so he gets a fair chance at it.
Facts.
Do I think it's fair that people are calling for his head after 2 matches when he has only brought in 3 players, and how many of them were actually his primary targets? Do I think it's fair he's getting what he's getting right now? No. To me, the majority of the club is still the same mercenaries. I call them now mercenaries or leopards, however you want to call them from before. They keep on doing the same thing until we start bringing in different players. How many managers are we going to have to see go through this before the majority of the fan base understands this? And these social media people who are already calling for his head just because they get likes and views on it. I think people already know who I'm referring to by this. I don't have to say names out here. No, there's nothing wrong with that. They're dividing the fan base, and that's wrong.
That makes no sense. How could you come and say the manager out now? How? I mean, what kind of?
Exactly.
It don't make sense.
Exactly.
All that for some clout. That's what it is. It's just clout.
Yes,
doesn't make
that's
sense.
you get some views, you get some likes, whatever else, but you're dividing the fan base as you're
It
doing
don't
that.
make sense.
Nah.
It's very obvious where the issue is, and I agree. I mean, he have to be okay. Like this window, to me, the board still really hasn't backed him because we still haven't got the young. As much as I don't like what's going on, fact is that the club should have done whatever they had to do to get him, because I guarantee you, right? If De Jong was playing for us, right, and Barca wanted him, or now so De Jong right now in Barca right now with no
The young
money.
player yesterday.
Yeah, he played yesterday.
Wait, centre back.
I'm not sure.
Because when I see the starting 11, he was none of it.
No, he had played yesterday because I know he came on, but I'm not sure where he played. I'm not sure. I don't know.
The fact remains is that people need to recognize that this is not a quick fix. So anybody who was thinking that, they're in for a rude awakening if they haven't gotten it already.
So
I
right,
mean,
don't forget now. We're in the generation now of instant gratification. So
Yeah,
people,
we
a
know.
lot of people now
We
are
know.
either they never grew up with taking forever to get a package. Compared to up here in the States, we have Amazon Prime. You order something, you get it next day. Not before, like for example, when I lived in Barbados, still when it would take weeks, sometimes months, if you ordered a package from the States to get there. It takes time to get stuff right. But that does not happen anymore nowadays. People expect instant gratification. They're not going to understand it's going to take growing pains. It's going to be a process. This was never going to be an overnight fix.
No.
Yep.
We said this
It's a process.
in the past too. So,
I
however,
want to ask
I
people
also-
something here.
Yeah.
I want to ask people
Okay, go
something
ahead.
here. How many people have had a serious injury in their lives? Like if they had an injury in their arm, the knee, or anything like that,
Yes.
they could walk.
yes.
Now we all know how long that's a gradual process is. Healing is one thing, and then gradually getting back the strength into that muscle is a whole nother thing in itself. I think people need to understand that, like we said, this team is damaged. This team is mentally damaged, morally damaged. I mean, I could be. Jack could probably play the meme and all if he wants to add that for dramatic
Yeah.
effect. But the point of the matter is that these players need the time to understand Ten Hag's system as well too. If gradually, after like say 10, 15 games, you see a lot of these players still giving issues and mind you, are going on a stretch to say in 15 games. If like you say like 8 to 10 games and these players aren't really catching up to what Ten Hag is doing, then certain wholesale changes have to be made. But
Yeah.
like Kevin was also saying, he's not been backed. The players that he wanted as main targets have not arrived. He's basically trying to handle the situation with one arm tied behind his back. So for us to even have the audacity to jump out and say Ollie, hear me Ollie out. I mean, that was basically what they just say Ten Hag out. You know, it's like as West Indies cricketers, everybody just going and hit for six.
Plastic fans.
It is a stupid way to approach this whole thing and not realize that now
Plastic
more than ever,
fans.
this is a new situation. This is supposed to be a new regime. The manager needs that opportunity to prove that
I
he is
want to
worthy.
call names.
It's one thing, right? I mean,
Call
it's
them.
one thing if
I
you
want to call names, but chat might
Call them.
delete me from the chat.
No,
You afraid nobody.
Plastic
I
fans.
I
You
want to
afraid
hear what Robert has to
nobody.
say. Robert,
Go ahead, Robert. Good.
I think you see, it's one thing, right? I agree, right? If it's one thing if he had gotten backed, right, and you're playing shit now, that'd be one thing. You could say, okay, fine, whatever. That is not the case, and people not realizing that. Okay, fine, yes, we got Martinez, right? Cool, but that's just one. That's just one piece, right? The man asked for 3 different pieces that we still don't have.
And mind you,
You
wanted
understand?
Timber instead of Martinez. Eh?
Exactly. So again, we still ended up back with these 3rd and 4th choice. See, so
Yeah, but that's not the club fault.
that is a club fault. Who was it is? Who is it blame?
How if Timber didn't want to come because Van
No.
Aert came away?
You telling me?
How that's our fault?
You telling me, right? That Barcelona, right? I keep coming back to Barcelona. Okay, you own a club, right? You try to own a club. I am Barcelona. I come to the club. You tell me, Robert, 150 to come inside. I think about Chad, dog, is me. Oh God, give my blind. And then next thing you know, I in VIP popping champagne. Who fault is that I'm inside? Not yours. It's your fault, right? It's your fault. You telling me that we can't get a man to sign for our club when Barcelona get men to sign for free with no money?
And Barcelona registered all the players, all the new signings.
I
Yeah,
want
they
to right.
register most of them.
All
Unless,
except
right?
for Jules Koundé. All except for Jules Koundé.
unless Barcelona, right, showing up to negotiations, right, with 15 virgins, right, and 15 trucks of money, and loads of drinks and drugs and paraphernalia. How these men signing on that line? How?
Hey,
And you tell me we can't get Timber?
Barcelona nickname is Lever Brothers, but
Barcelona finished second
That's
last
why I
year,
say-
and then fellas in Champions League.
That's why I say
and that don't change the fact that they still have money worries.
True, but I'm just saying that is
Yeah.
a factor.
They have money worries and a good Obia man.
How that be? Is ready the voodoo?
they have Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure
Yaya
looking for them
Toure,
right
aye.
now.
I
We
have-
need to
I
go
have
and
one
hire
of that-
Yaya Toure. We need to go and do that.
Before we reach to that time to shut it down, I have one other serious question I want to ask. I've heard certain commentators talk about it. We have talked about it on other programs, but it really stood out in my mind. It's becoming more and more of an issue. Is it that some of these players have become shell-shocked? You ever notice that players, they almost seem afraid to express themselves? Our players don't look like they're enjoying their football anymore.
No, they are not.
And I am wondering, we talk about the players, we talk about ownership, we talk about the manager. But is one of the main reasons, one of the not main, one of the contributing factors to the poor psychology of the players. Is it possible that as a toxic fan base, that guys know? And you know what made me start to think about that when I saw the information come out about the players that get the most hate on social media. And I think it was
8 players.
4 out of 5 or the top 5 was United players.
There's 8 out of the 10.
So
8 out of 10 was
let me get this one here. You
No,
have
so
to
I'm no,
understand.
just let me finish Koji question. So I am just wondering, is it that players are so, because we have to acknowledge we live in a different age. We live in a social media age. Is it that players are so timid when they're out there? They're so afraid of failure that they're actually failing. Because they know if I perform badly, I go in and get
Social media will have a way.
100,000 negative tweets
So
in this.
it
Yeah.
goes alongside of what I was saying before, where these players do not understand how to handle adversity. You know when something is going wrong, you know what the fix is going to be. But it always seems that they're looking for the easy way out. Where like, okay, you could put up some Instagram post, put some essay long apology explaining how you're going to do better, and then you go out the next game and it's the same thing over and over again. You have to understand when you're playing for Manchester United, whether somebody's a fan, whether somebody's a rival opponent, all eyes will always be on you when you're playing for this club. You have to understand that when you're coming. When you play well, yes, that benefits you. If you're coming here just to get the social media followers and whatnot, and you didn't know that before, you have no business at this club. If you can't handle the adversity, you know that's coming with playing for, I say without a doubt, the biggest English club in the world. You have no business at this club. You have to understand sometimes you want to earn the respect. You have to put it out there and put in the effort as well. You can't just have all the good parts of it and not put in the hard work to get the rest of it. So if you're going to sit there and you're going to be afraid of the backlash that's coming because you didn't put in the work, I don't feel bad for you at all.
But let me ask you our next question, Devin. Do you see what I'm saying, or as somebody who plays football, albeit non-professional, do you think that these players behave like they're afraid?
Yes.
They behave like they're timid. They behave like they.
So
Why
I
you think that?
body language on the
I
pitch
think
alone
they
says
go out and they expect they feel entitled. Oh, just because I play for Manchester United, I should win this. I don't have to put in this harder effort. I got my big contract. I'm good. So, and then they go out there and all of a sudden they get shell shocked by a team who wants to work harder. And then all of a sudden they start throwing up strops instead of following the team plan. That's what was going before this. They go right back and being 11 individuals. That's not Manchester United. That's not the Manchester United we all grew up under. So I say if you cannot handle the adversity of playing for Manchester United, if you don't have what it takes to handle that part, in addition, you could be talented enough to play, but if you don't have the backbone to understand it's not always going to go well, if you don't have the backbone to say it's not well right now, but I will do everything in my power to make it right, instead you just want to go and complain and keep doing the same things over and over again, go somewhere else, leave.
As a professional athlete, it's kind of something that you have to anticipate is going to come. Anytime you have a negative performance, you have a bad performance, there's always going to be that level of a backlash. Just remember, like Jevin said, you're playing for the biggest English club in the world. People are going to be on your case because there's going to be, if not the company, the media houses analyzing your performance, you have the rivals and the social media trolls looking for everything to pick and make a mistake at. Look at it like this. David De Gea was at fault for at least half of the goals that was conceded, and they still try to find a way to blame Harry Maguire.
And
What does that tell you?
for real, eh?
What does that
For
tell you?
real.
Because people keep pushing their own thing. They keep pushing their own thing.
So it comes with the territory. And in your mind, it's like you have to know that just because you're playing for the club doesn't mean it absolves you from having to put in a workman-like performance and to put in twice as much effort, because it means that you have to work twice as hard to stop from everybody else who's fighting to upstage you from avoiding from doing that. So you're not left looking like an embarrassed fool on the pitch.
Fellas, It seems like we're going to have a very interesting week. I personally enjoy Ten Hag's approach. We don't have it from official sources, but we heard unofficially that he dressed down Ronaldo in front of the team
Mm-hmm.
because he wasn't pleased with his body language and demeanor, especially after the game. So we let's see what happens. I think Ten Hag's attitude is sink or swim. Again, I could understand if he throws youth in against Liverpool, but I could also understand if he chooses not to do that
Not
for
to.
that game and
Yeah.
wait to do it against the Southampton game. So we could only wait and see. I mean, I keep asking myself, this is almost a full season. I keep asking myself, when are we going to respond? When we lost with Sir Alex Ferguson, we knew it didn't matter what the next game was. We knew that the
Response was
next game was
immediate.
going to be fiery.
Mhm.
I have been waiting ever since we got battered by Watford last season. That was the game before the Liverpool game. I have been waiting for a Manchester United response. And a little bit is going to be a full year. I have been waiting for a Manchester United response. And I don't know when that response is going to come. I can only hope it comes sooner rather than later. All right, guys, we're going around the table. Give me your final thoughts before we get kicked out of the bar.
No, not me.
Mark,
I live here. You understand?
Yeah, that's drunkard.
spoken like a real rummy boy.
Can't show me out yet.
Nah.
Good.
I
Man.
will say, I just want the fans and them out there. I know it's a frustrating time, but we had to stick by the club. I getting relics from the time the season starts. I getting relics. Men only send me the table upside down, all kind of thing, all. But we had to stick by the club and stick by the coach. We know he ain't get the players he wanted yet. And I shouldn't say I don't feel it. After Liverpool game, I don't feel it could get much worse than that. And we can rise. Just like the Phoenix, we will rise. We'll come out of the ashes and we ain't finishing lower than 10th this season here. Yeah,
Thank you, Maya Angelou.
yeah. We ain't finishing lower than 10th this season here. Or they could put us on the record. For the record. We ain't finishing lower than 10th. Season now start. These men are them under some pressure. It's a work in progress for the season for the coach. Let me support the team now and let me don't self-destruct and give these other teams reason to troll me more than they have reason already. Because I'm just waiting, I'm just waiting at the Arsenal fans. Even some of our own fans who done throw me under the bus already. I'm just waiting on them. Because when we started winning, you can hear them same men on them who saying Ten Hag out. But then Ten Hag is the greatest thing. Right? Once you're a Manchester United fan, you're a Manchester United fan for life. We don't deal with plastic fans. We deal with real fans and real people. So let me just hold the faith and stay strong.
Robert?
My stand is very, very simple. I would play the youth. I would let them boys and them just run and run and just see what happens, because these guys have shown me too many times that they are not up for the fight. And if not up for the fight, then you're in the wrong club, because this club, our history is fight. Munich was a fight. We came back from that. Relegation, we came back from that. Our whole ethos is fight. I will always remember Spurs 3-0 down half time. We
Spurs come
beat
and get
Spurs
fight.
5-3.
Yeah.
Fight. Bayern Munich, right? Finals. Everyone said, nah, all them in shit. Can't win nothing. What happened? Fight, win. '08 Chelsea. Man said, oh, we shit. Bam, boom, boom, we win. Our club is based on fight. Yes, I could take a loss, and we have lost numerous times, but the way we used to lose before was at least okay, fine. You know, you can say or not. These men play us off the park. We try, but there's no trying now. These men had to understand either you're trying, dog, or you roll out. You know, and I think if we play Ganacho and Ghana and them fellas, I think against Liverpool, we may lose. We may lose, fellas. But we will come on the next side, dog, better. I don't trust none of them. None. From the here, go straight to Ronaldo. I don't trust none of them. They all need to take the jersey and win it. Bring it here to Trinidad. Scrub on the damn sink. Clean your jersey by hand. Nasty people in there with some big stone.
Greg B.
Oh, I thought Robert was still going.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Anyway, I mean, I kind of live by this code where they say nothing good ever comes easy. This is a
Exactly.
part of the growing. This is a part of the growing pains as a Manchester United supporter. I mean, some of you probably have been supporting as longer than I have, because 26 years I've seen highs, I'm seeing lows, I'm seeing more lows as we speak. But it comes to the point where you kind of have to recognize that this is something that is a process. We don't know what's going to be at the end of this tunnel, but we'd like to think that if Hagen probably do what he needs to do. I'm not writing him off entirely. I'm not saying that some of these players aren't going to try and fight, but we know the players that just aren't cutting it anymore. Once he's given the opportunity and the tools to get everything right, things could change very drastically. I believe this window, these next few days are going to be very pivotal because it could hinge on how this season plays out. For the next few days prior to that Liverpool game are very, very crucial, and the support is much needed now more than ever.
Gavin?
Let me go on record and say this right now. If you're one of those fans who is already calling for Ten Hag to be out, when it's been 2 matches into a season, he has not been back properly at all, you are not a proper fan of this club. As we have said before, it's going to take time. There is going to be growing pains along the way. If you're not on board with this, go find another club already. We don't need you. Because you know what? United will be back. It's obviously going to take, I think it's going to take at least 2 or 3 seasons to start being competitive again. It's going to be at least 5 seasons before we start talking about even title contenders in my mind. But you know what? This club has been there for me my entire life. All my drive, all my motivation comes from seeing this club come from what I thought was rock bottom and still come back to find a way to get through it. We will be back where we're supposed to be. I am not worried about that. But we don't need people who are not willing to be along for the ride. And the second there's a little hint of a problem along the way that you're already ready to jump ship and you're ready saying bust out, whatever. Same thing with these players right now. You can't handle whatever. You're not willing to dig deep in and be a part of it to fight for it instead of always looking for a scapegoat somewhere else. Instead of doing your part, leave. Go somewhere else.
If you can't support us when we lose, don't celebrate when we win.
This club will be
Exactly.
where it's supposed to be. And you know what? I'm here for the entire ride.
If you jump off the bus when we winning, when we losing, don't jump back on the bus when we winning.
Okay, we'll get kickoff.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I have learned in life is that when you're going through tough times, it is really the real people you understand in your life. The real people that stand by you when you're going through tough times. And I think maybe we need a little shaking off. Maybe we need to shake off some fans. Maybe we need some people, because everybody keeps complaining about the ownership. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we don't have issues with our ownership. But
But
this club have issues everywhere, right? This fan base has gotten more toxic over the last 5 years than ever before. I personally think a lot of that has to do with the rise of certain characters on social media and their popularity and rubbing off on the fan base, right?
Yep.
I personally believe that is the reason for it. But whether that is or not, we had issues under the former CEO, right? We had a whole board and people all over the club that came out of the financial institutions and knew nothing about football. Everything we were structuring, we just talk about, oh, why Phil Jones still here? Phil Jones was here. Mata got extended contracts. Matic didn't upgrade on years ago because of that whole philosophy, banking philosophy was running the club. So we have a new manager, a new CEO, a fairly new director of football. We have to appreciate that there's so many things that are wrong with the club. And we
growing
don't
pains.
everything is not gonna fix itself just like that. It's not magic. So we had to, as everybody has said in their own way, we had to be along for the ride. And those people who wanna one of the things I always love about Manchester United and Manchester United fans is we don't free talk, we could take talk. I had a friend of mine who supports a rival club call me today and tell me, hey, if you see me hitting Manchester United on social media, it's just old talk, it's just banter, don't take it personal. And I like banter is part of football. We know how
Correct.
to make people talk. And most of us supposed to know how to take talk. You understand? I Barcelona have weak fans. I always pride in my club that we don't have weak fans. We don't cry when our team lost.
We do know.
So
Exactly.
And strange enough, the people who ball in is just old talk. When them start to get pong, them just take it personal.
us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I am
Exactly.
seeing now weak fans for the first time in my life as a United fan. I reach the point where it has certain people I like supposedly like my love my club and I don't like to be around them because they're just fragile.
Yeah.
We have some weak fans
I tell
emerging,
I
and
tell
it's
you
like,
yesterday I had to tell a man take off your TV, if you don't want to see what is going on, take off your TV.
No,
so,
no. To be fair, right? To be fair with that, right? I don't because I think what our fan base have, unlike I guess with City or like Liverpool or even Arsenal, I think we got other fans when we were great, right? Like a lot of young fans, we got them when we were big, and they never really saw this team go
yeah.
through.
A lot of
Now,
people they only know the culture of winning. They don't
no,
remember getting
right
relegated. They
now,
don't remember
even
the struggle.
I began
Into
back in this club when Continental came around, right? But by that time, we were already we were on the way up. But I know about the history of the club. I know about what the club went through. But it's very different when you are a youth and you came into the thing right when Sir Alex
Right.
was just running the world. And now it's like you don't know what is up and what is down. And then of course, I mean, you added with the obvious way the world is today. These kids now and their instant gratification now. That's why you find City have real fans now. It's easy to go back City. It's easy. Go back them.
Mm-hmm.
They always winning. They don't go through anything. So
True that,
yeah.
true that. Well, as I say we sure. Hard times separate the wheat from the tail,
From the
separate the
roots, yeah.
goat from the sheep. So, and I know we all here for the long haul. Thank you for being part of Old Talk United. Remember to like, Subscribe if you're taking us in on YouTube. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We've got some more content for you all later today. We're going to be talking the Premier League EPL rewind. We're going to be going through all the games over the weekend. We're going to be talking a lot about Conte and Tuchel and that little fighting and shoving match that took place today. So we're going to get into it later at 6 p.m. So, but Red Devils don't die. We multiply. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, people.